Friends, so here we are again, another week of sharing here from Mabi, Brigitte Antelme in the south of France from the Source Centre, and I'm here at Healing Water Sanctuary, and amazingly we were doing these videos in the summer and we had full sun coming through, and now all we have is darkness outside, so we're getting right into the depths of darkness. Is it the same for you in France, Brigitte? Does it get dark?
It gets dark at 5 o'clock, but what I love is the vision of the seed that's nesting in the hollow of the dark of the earth. Hello, Jack. You're so faithful.
Yeah. That's nice.
So, yes, I have to remind myself that in the earth, in that sacred vessel of the earth, there are some dormant bulbs and seeds, like the acorns or the chestnut or the horse chestnut or tulips or anemones, which people have planted. And that gives me hope for the spring. And the other thing that gives me hope is the sunflower seeds I put out for the beautiful birds. And they are green. Yeah. And the other thing that gives me hope is the sunflower. Hello, beautiful Therese. Hello, Avril. That beautiful name, Avril. In France, Avril is spring. It's the month of when life is reborn. And I was just talking about how many people are planting bulbs, like my granddaughter, my daughters. They're planting bulbs. I haven't done that yet. And Jack, you're faithful like an old dog. I wouldn't say you're an old dog. I would say faithful, yes.
You can't call Jack an old dog, Brigitte.
That's not mine. My words. He's saying faithful like an old dog. I'm just reading what he has said. I would never call Jack an old dog.
Oh my goodness me. Sorry, I forgive. I forgive.
Oh, that's when you were born. So you're a little Aries baby, springtime. So that's the energy of the courageous, the journey of the hero's journey. Yes, it's the hero's journey.
The energy of the hero's journey.
Yes, it's the energy of the hero's journey. Mars, ruled by Mars.
Okay, so who's the hero here in this moment?
She's born in Taurus. Wow. So Taurus, Earth in Scorpio. So Taurus is ruled by Venus, feminine, the need for beauty, needing to touch things, to make things, to plant things. It's the Earth sign. It's a fixed sign. And right now you have an appointment in that placement with Uranus, the ruler of the sign of Aquarius. So changes, visions. How do you want to manifest your vision? April, you're on the cusp. So yes, so you're finishing Taurus and you're stepping into the action of the fire of Aries. So you're getting both of beautiful worlds.
I think
yes. So wolf. Have you written woof or wolf?
Jack's barking like a dog, so that's good.
Oh, Marian, hello from Santa Barbara. Hello, beautiful Marian. I wonder how you're doing today. How are you doing as we're moving into this last tremendous piece of this global breaking down of that inverted matrix, which is a huge challenge for every one of us.
I was reading a post by another one of my Facebook friends who's very psychic, and she was talking about how intense things are now, and it's like that we're all right face to face, darkness and light, this intense battle that's going on, and and you know, for me, it's like, how can we stay anchored and grounded, but how can we actually see the truth of what's going on and not be caught up in all the attempts by media and so on to distract us away from what's really going on? I mean, what's the issue that's happening between the darkness and light? And what's the distraction? So I'm wondering, you know, what people are experiencing with that. I mean, the one thing that's really evil is to take away somebody's sovereignty, somebody's freedom. And I think this is really being stepped up big time at this moment, isn't it?
Yes, it's interesting you're saying that, because I was sharing with my grandson who was meant to come tomorrow. I was saying to him, we would never do that to a dog or a cat or, you know, a loved one. We would never do that to them. And yet we are not thinking with our brain. We're just not stopping to think, this is being done to me and I'm going with it. But I would never do that to my dog or my cat. Absolutely put on them what is being put on us.
Yeah, you still be in compliance with it.
Yes, so there is something that is, we are not making the connection between, do I want to treat my dog like that, or would I treat my cat like that? And what's happening that I'm allowing governments, institutions to treat me that way. But if I'm allowing that, then I am not, I'm dissociated. I am in trauma. I am bowing down to a higher order. So we're back to the same inverted matrix where we have handed over our power, and yet we're moving cosmologically into a new matrix where this is not allowed anymore. This is not allowed.
Hi, Abigail.
Hello,
Nice
beautiful one. Hello,
yeah.
Gorgeous one. Yes, it's like the energies, we've shared that before. The energies will no longer support us handing over our power to something external. Many will keep doing that, and I guess they're still needing to roll out this program. Okay, like I met a man who I know who is handicapped, and he told me he'd had the jabs, he'd had the injections, and he'd been extremely ill last week. But thank God that he'd had that, because he was hospitalized, and if he hadn't, he might have died. So interesting how we can read into, oh, I was saved because I had taken that experimentation. But in fact,
you get it back to front.
yes. So that is speaking to me about how deeply programmed we have been. So tonight, Abigail and everyone, Juliet has proposed the theme of, when are we absolutely staying aligned with our intuition, our inner felt sense, and when are we being deceived by the illusion and being distracted through media, through something that's happening on media, you know, and in fact, there's just a distraction preventing us from staying really with what is really going on here.
Yeah. So
Juliet is invited today. So Marilyn is pensive and at peace today, still full of thanksgiving, gratitude, working on acceptance. That's beautiful, Marilyn. Yes, thanksgiving for the abundance of Pachamama. There's so much abundance through each one of us too, through each one of you. So I'm wondering, can you stay with the abundance you carry? Rather than, yeah.
Who here feels in abundance, and who is caught up in the belief in scarcity and poverty? who's in poverty consciousness and who's in abundance.
Oh, Marian, also a Taurus with Moon, Mars, and Venus in Aries. Wow. That's powerful, Marian. Eh? So Cancer rising, highly sensitive. So Pluto is opposite your rising sign. So either Pluto will fall in your sixth house, a house of community and health, and ask for a change, or it will be in a relationship house, asking for a deep transformation within that seventh house. How am I relating? Am I being really aligned with my highest, yes, my own values? Pluto in the seventh house, relationship. In Taurus, yes, ruled by Venus, so relationships again. So big relationship woman, Marian. There's a lot of deep relationship skills in this group. So, and the beautiful cow goddess, Isis with the horns. So she's really connecting with the cosmos, and she's bringing down that wisdom and grounding it. So the same with Uranus in Taurus, grounding that vision. If we don't ground the vision, it holds no power. I mean, Juliet knows, she's Aquarius. So Juliet is grounded a vision. You can see it, not only in the trauma healing that she's offering twice a year, she's doing, or more than that even, she's doing the preliminary course, the beginner's course in trauma healing, first year, and the advanced course. And now we are on the Elders Wisdom Circle, where we are sharing once a week a video to show how we are engaging with trauma and moving into the collective field. And those beautiful videos, which is Juliet's vision, they're manifesting now. So not only is Juliet teaching trauma, she's holding healing waters, and she's holding community gardens. And now she's looking for a tractor.
So yes, you all helped me manifest the tractor, and my beautiful friend here, Mabi, Brigitte, has been busy knitting, has knitted Jack a fabulous scarf, and now she's knitting a scarf for a raffle to fundraise for the tractor.
So there is another one, and whoever wants to, yes, we're going to think how to raffle this. And I'm starting a third one with a very different teaching, which is more complex. And
wow.
Yeah.
Imagine that's so warm, Brigitte. That's amazing.
It's 100% wool.
It's 5 scarves in one.
Yeah. And today Jack's scarf has gone because it was meant to fly out tomorrow on Sunday morning with my grandson. Now he's not coming because the boundaries are shutting down. And what I wanted to share with you is each country's boundaries need to shut down, because what is undergoing, what is happening, what is unfolding is so much more important. So don't go with a feeling that, oh, we're being locked, or we're being shut in. Everything is contracting. There is a higher purpose behind that. And the higher purpose is there are some very, very important court cases ongoing right now. Globally, there are arrestations taking place globally. And therefore, by closing the boundaries, it's to prevent some people from going in places where it would be more complex to find them, and to keep you safe. I hope that helps. Really excited and feeling so blessed, maybe. Yes, me too. Yeah. So, I think I have a friend that would be up for lending a small tractor. Wow. Avril, are you in England?
Avril, yes. Avril lives quite close from here, I think.
Right.
That's very sweet,
But
Avril.
it's not just, but it's
No,
really
we want
sweet.
to, yeah, we want to own a tractor in the gardens because we've got a big project that's about to unfold, which is a whole nother project on top of the Healing Gardens. It's a beautiful land project, tree planting and memorial trees and sponsorship for loved ones. So that's going to take a lot of maintenance as well. So that's why we're fundraising for the
So, Avril, there is a great, yes, so there is a great soul journey happening right now. I'm just going on with Avril and the beautiful loan of the tractor. That's lovely. And if we could put that up, there is a great soul journey happening right now. Yes, yes, Avril. And Jack, so grateful for beautiful wise souls I'm sharing this journey with. Yes, this is so wonderful. Yes, it's absolute. And although we may, what I wanted to share today, the system may break down, the internet systems may close down for a short while, and we may have to go back to resourcing community. This is why Juliet is really pushing this tractor thing forward, and I really understand. And I am on platform now. We're meeting, and it's called solaris-france.org, and I think there is one starting in England, and it's a community of doctors, nurses who have lost their jobs, or left their jobs, and we're going to be co-creating new communities. So we are going even to have radios and different things in case everything just stops working for a short while. So what I wanted to say is, if that does happen, if you could just write your name and put it, write your name, and then we can all connect on higher levels and stay as this beautiful circle where you can, if you're feeling a bit wobbly, you can just feel, oh, let me just put my energy, let me just step into that field. And that's something we share with Juliet when we meet as the trauma-informed healers. And now we're meeting on a Tuesday and it goes live. It's how we are offering this absolute sacred cup of elders' wisdom. Even if there is one who is younger, she's very wise. We're all very wise people who have been journeying for hundreds of thousands of years. And right now we're here again. Hello. Hello, yes. Julie. Hello, beautiful ones. Hello, my Julie. So, so if we just stay with that connection from heart to heart, soul to soul, and spiritual connection, even if everything else falls apart, we can hug a tree and call the names of those loved ones we have been journeying for the last 2 years, on and off. Yes, right on, sister. Yes. Yeah. Because many of us are starseeds. Some of us come from Arcturian, Pleiadians. We come from way back. Or we have been in all those different places. And now we're on Earth for a specific purpose, including those who are asleep, including those who are leaving this planet Earth. They made a choice. They had a soul contract. So not easy for us to witness that. And what we're being asked right now is to witness and hold presence. But may I invite you, like Juliet was saying, how can you stay in touch with your true values, your essence, and your own intuition? When that little voice in you says, that speaks truth to me, or
that doesn't sound, like the new moronic thing that's going around, that on the back of that people are now having their freedoms limited again. So does that speak truth to you, or does it ring a bell that there's something going on here that's not the truth? How much do we recognize when these kind of false flag things happen, and suddenly the media is full of it, and it's trying to hijack us to take us along with a particular narrative? What happens in your body when that when that comes up? Are you alerted to it, or do you get hijacked and get pulled into that?
Well, may I invite you, when you have something that feels what my body straight away does, I get an adrenaline release in my guts. As Juliet, you were talking, I got an adrenaline kick in my guts. That was my response. And when I get that, I know what somebody's sharing is not true. They're telling fibs. And I look at them and said, is there not something else you wish to tell me?
Yeah, we're attuned in so many ways to pick up what's authentic and what's inauthentic. I mean, this is documented in psychologically, that when there's a fake video made, or somebody's giving you information that's inauthentic, that there are subtle ways that we pick up this information. Our gut feeling is one of them, but there's many, many ways, like what our brain is spotting, what our ears are hearing, that we can pick up the inauthenticity. But if we're too distracted by lots of other things going on, then maybe we override or we ignore those signals coming to us. So how much can we still ourselves and center ourselves so that we can really notice when inauthentic information is being given us in order to ensnare us, in order to entrap us? Yeah. So how much are we all aware of these things at the moment?
That's lovely. How about tuning your radio? You were talking about hearing. How about tuning your inner radio to the frequencies where you can hear who you are, what your messages are, what your frequencies, which give you joy, rather than like Abigail. They don't want to give up the control that they have over us. We have given them that control, Abigail. Of course, they don't want to let it go, because they have bargained with other dimensions. They have had weapons from other dimensions. They've handed their power over with other dimensions of other beings from other timelines. And therefore, the contracts is to keep humanity enslaved, because the others, whatever I won't name them right now, they need our energy. They need our souls. They need us enslaved. But we have to reclaim that. And no one will do that for us. Sorry, Juliet. I love the ridiculousness of it all and the feeling of the controller's desperation. Sass Bullock.
Sass,
Yes.
hi. Hi.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's more than just spotting the inauthentic communications and seeing that. It's also, do we give our permission for what's going on, or do we withdraw our permission in some way? Can we stand in our sovereignty and stop being passive around it? Do we somehow, not, choose not to give our consent to what's going on?
But that means every moment of your day, you need to check out, am I still aligned with my radio frequency, or have I been taken out of my alignment? So this is asking you to, it's like if you go for a walk, okay? Either you go for a walk and you wander any kind of way, okay? You let your You let the walk guide you. That's okay when you're in nature. But when we walk in life and we're stepping in a collective field of people, some of them conscious, most of them not consciously awake yet, then you need to absolutely get your bearings. And my bearings personally is my alignment. And my alignment comes with my radio frequency. And if I meet someone else, I might have just to turn the knob a little bit to pick up where they're at and then get a feedback to just stay in connection. And then I go back to my own radio frequency. So it is like a breath in and a breath out, but my radio frequency, I'm responsible for that. Does that help?
Perfect.
Certainly, perfect analogy, staying tuned to your highest radio frequency. Yes, and that's not an easy one, definitely not. But when we do that, if we meet someone who is highly activated, they might be doing 300 miles an hour because the nervous system is hyperactivity in Juliet can really teach you on that, because that's the programs I've done for the last few years with her. But if you are going to meet that person, you may have to catch up their train. So it means you have to change your frequency just to catch up and get a sense of where they're at. What is it? Where they are at? They might be back into infancy or childhood or teenager or running away. So many people in the last year have said, "Oh, I'm off to Mexico. Are you coming with us, Brigitte?" And I said, "No." And they said, "Why not?" I said, "Because wherever you're going to go on planet Earth, it will all, everywhere, there is not going to be a single place on planet Earth that's not going to have to change. Every place, every stone will not be left unturned. So you can go to the end of the world, but that place too, you will be asked to look at yourself, to look at your shadow, and to look at where have I handed my power over.
Yes, because at every moment of the day, there's a question: am I going to give my power away in this moment, or am I going to stay in alignment? Every choice, every thought that we make, where am I giving my power to? And there are power snatchers. The dark forces, the overlords, they're power snatchers. They're waiting to feed off the places where you're not conscious, where we're not conscious. They're waiting to feed off our fear.
But they always use a loved one or a situation that you love to get to you. So please be mindful as we get closer to celebrating the energy of midwinter. It's a very powerful time going within. I used to be ancestral rituals of absolutely going within. I remember that in Gavrinet, on an island in France, there is the stones and they are carved inside, and it's on a small island. And that used to be a ritual where you used to take younger initiates and they used to stay in there just with water, and they used to have to go deeper inside with one of the elders. And it is about the seed going deeper and deeper, with going back to the core of your essence. So in a way, the gift of what's happening out there is pushing us back within. But if you go with the illusions, with the stories, then you are going to be completely overwhelmed with incoherence. And that can be highly activating. And You can move into dissociation. Yes, source, definitely, absolutely. Well, I did overtone chanting in the middle of Bristol. Beautiful everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, Jack, I only know how to be 100% authentic. Anything that is not authentic is simply not on my wavelength. That's beautiful. So,
So at the same time as this false information is spreading through the media, hoping to capture us, coming to the surface is a lot of darkness, a lot of really, really terrible things that have been happening on planet Earth for a very long time. So there's very much hoping to distract us from that stuff, because if we wake up to what's been going on, it's very, very difficult and difficult for them.
yes.
Humanity wakes up to what's been going on.
But it's like, because it's so dark, it's beyond any one of us might even
Imagine
imagine or conceive. Such horrible things have taken place, and they have been taking place
and
for
are
thousands
taking
of years. Yeah,
and are
and
still
they used to take place a long time, 5,000-6,000 years ago. But this has become now a norm, a way of life for some extremely rich, extremely in high places people. That is why the stakes are so high, and that is why it's been completely kept hidden under the bushel. But what's happening, it is being revealed right now. So may we invite you, don't get distracted. Don't go with the stories.
And look out for the court cases that are beginning to happen, particularly the big one.
Yes, and you may not find that. You won't find those on the normal media. So that means you're going to have to do a lot of research for the Epstein's case, for some of the Hollywood. Sorry, Juliet.
And Maxwell's court case that's running at this moment.
Yeah. There's a tremendous amount of court cases who are not being, you will not see them on media cover. So if you still believe that you're going to see things on media, no. You will just get tiny little bits, but not much, okay? So it means you're having to do your own research, and that's to really push you to empower yourselves. That's the way I look at it. Do I really want to look at this? And if I look at that, how can I bring my values, the keys I hold, to bring compassion to what has taken place for thousands of years?
And I think it's hard to look at it as well, because it's so distressing, isn't it? We were discussing it. Yeah, we were discussing this.
Yeah, we were discussing that, how extremely distressing it is for both women and men. It's so distressing, we have to go with denial. That's another piece I wanted to share today. We tend to put our head into the sand like the ostrich and wait for the storm to happen, which is a great intelligent skill of survival for the ostrich in wherever she lives in South America, But this is not the same.
No, in this battle between the dark and light, we need to put on our armor of light and actually face the darkness.
But I've got a feeling its darkness has been deviated. When the sun shines on a tree, there is a normal darkness and shadow underneath. And the tree is bringing its cool shade in the middle of summer, when you have 45, 50 or 40 here in France. I love that moment when I can sit under the lime tree and I feel the coolness and the greens.
Yes.
Hello, beautiful John. Thank you for being here. But my senses we have to be very mindful. There has been inverted matrix around the darkness too, okay? We need to remember we need that shade. You know, when I'm walking with the sun behind me and it's lunchtime, it's midday with the sun above me, my shadow is very long. I'm walking in my shadow. But what's happened is there has been black magic, and that's a different way of looking at
Yes.
the dark. And that is where we have deviated. And we have the freedom of choice. But when the dark hooks onto us and we hand our power over, then we are being enslaved. And then we play their game.
Yeah, so we were talking in our group, weren't we, Brigitte, how to deal with that. If we have to confront this darkness and bring this evil down, how do we do it? We were talking about the Hydra, weren't we?
Yes. Yes, we were talking about the myth, where there are many, many myths on there. How to deal when you are faced with a Hydra. And if you cut one of her head, many will grow again. So Steiner talks about this time. Yes, he does. He does, definitely. Many, many books have been written about this time, but most of humanity, there were many books like Hidden Agendas and many, many others have been written. Abigail, we'll have to go. My son is off to work and I have to put tea on. Oh,
Yeah,
thank you
wave
for
goodbye
being
to her.
here,
Bye,
Abigail.
Abigail. Yeah.
I love you, beautiful ones. Thank you for stepping here today. You can always re-listen. And we will be raffling that scarf, okay? Please. It's about 2 meters tall, okay? And it's 100% wool. So Juliet and I were going to try and find a way to raffle. So yes, Steiner has covered that. Yes, we were addressing how, because if you are going with aggression and you're going to sever the heads, it's the same with Cerberus, the dog. When Psyche goes to the underworld, she has bread in her pocket. This is what she was asked to carry with her. And when she meets the dog with the 3 heads, who prevents her from going to the underworld, which is an initiation journey we're just undergoing right now, to reclaim something from the dead, to reclaim something from the place where we've never wanted to
Reclaiming
go.
our humanity, I think, Brigitte.
Sorry?
We're reclaiming our humanity, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We are, but it's been shut away. It's been shut away. So what she does, she knows, she throws the bread and the 3 heads fight. And while they fight, she goes with the boat and then claims something that belongs to a connection, to a humanity, and to a divinity. So she becomes connected with the divine self. That's a different myth. I won't go there. So, yes, how do I participate from the US? I would love to be Rabs and something that has touched your beautiful presence, maybe.
Oh, we'll find a way. We'll find a way.
I don't know what Rabs mean.
Raffle.
Rabs? I don't know. I don't speak American. How do you participate from the US? Well, this is a restream, Julie.
No, she's talking about the raffle, I think.
Oh,
yeah,
the raffle.
We'll find a way. But meanwhile, we're talking about just to stay on track with Wrapped. Oh, Wrapped. We'll find a way. If you win it in the raffle.
Oh, yes, it's okay. We will find a way. Don't you worry. We've got people worldwide. And we've got beautiful Carol in Canada and Paula in Canada. And I've got Amy in the Central America too. So we were talking about the
reclaiming our humanity and the dark, you know, how we stay conscious and confront the darkness, the inverted matrix. How do we do that without getting destroyed ourselves?
Yeah, and that really asks us to move away from fear, the fear of that monster. And that goes back to childhood. I was remembering the other day, I was looking after those two little ones, and the other grandmother was saying things like, oh, if you don't do that, you're not going to get that. Or if you don't do that, you can stay in your room. And I just looked at her and said, please don't do that. Don't say that. It's so painful for them. Let's be different with that. And then what came to me was, oh, if you don't behave, we'll get the police, the gendarme will come and get you and put you behind locked bars. Or we'll put you in the dark room. And I used to be terrified of that. I did get put in there. So it's how can we help that part of ourselves, those parts of ourselves that have been shocked or traumatized by situations when there was power over, and know that whatever is rolling outside, no one will have power over me, because I will never give power over it to anyone. Even if I get taken away, if I get put behind bars, no one can access my beautiful soul, being, spirit. No one. That takes some pondering. Yes. But that's a choice we have to make. And the key to that is, can I stay in my heart? Can I stay witnessing what's unfolding and hold compassion? And I feel that's very, and presence. Ever. No worries. Yeah. Sure. So, yes. I just wanted to invite a breath with Juliet, because this is so big. We have this monster which just appearing right, left, and center. But in fact, it's like, you remember that song? Puff the magic dragon, bing, la 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 la, we live by the sea, la 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 la, in the land of la la la, puff the magic dragon. So in a way, what's rolling out, we are giving it power. But if we just see it as 1,000 dragons headed, and we see it as it's just puffing, and we just take it down. Yeah.
And the children are dependent upon us.
Yes, the children need us right now, because what I wanted to share, as I was saying that, is I was weaving stories around the children the other day to bring them into quietening energies, but they are being formatted in schools, and I witnessed that. So they are acting like the little one with 3 was acting like a big macho 3-year-old. But in fact, he came down with 40, he had a fever. So it was just too much for him. Being this 3-year-old being put in school when he just needs to bond and attach to his mama, is too much.
Too much.
What, sorry, go on, Juliet.
Yeah, so I was cutting across you. And thinking about the children, I mean, we've got children on this kind of level in our families, and that's been oppressed by this thing that's being rolled out on us, but that is all a distraction for what's been going on at the other level with the children. The abuse, the terrible abuse and injury of children, and the taking of children and the torturing of children for the gratification of rich people, very, not rich people, but specific people that have been pulled into this whole thing.
Yeah.
That are giving their power away, that are now being blackmailed because they've been caught on film or whatever, and that's been used to blackmail them to then do the bidding of the dark forces. So How can we protect those children? And it's really coming to light now in these court cases that are coming up. So it's going to be very shocking when it comes to light what happened on those islands. And
but we need to know. We need to know, and we need to remember there is work. I've been doing work, but many of us who are in this field of work, who are the doulas, those who help souls move on, those children's souls need our support. And the families whose children were taken from them without consent, they too need our compassion, because they've never known where those children, their children, disappeared. That's one part of it. And the other part of it is some children were kept to have more children, and they never saw the light. So they were breeding just for that purpose. And that's another layer to the dark that's been going on. And some of us have known that and have worked behind the scenes to help those souls, to purify those souls. So it's really deep stuff, but it is all unfolding. Yes. And we each have a responsibility. Oh, John.
Yes. And we can all help. We can all
Richard
help bring to the light.
has an island near Epstein. Yes, April. So Richard Branson is one that has been compromised, but he's part of it, and many, many others. And thank you, Jack, for hearing me sing. I just wanted to lighten it a little bit, because I have done the journey of psyche, and I know how painful it is to go to reclaim that part of myself that had been silenced.
John just said he tried to put a comment and it was censored. I think it's better that you don't put any specific, use any specific words. We're being very careful in what we say here, because we don't want to be picked up.
Yes, be very mindful, John. We're all, I've been targeted just for putting very kind, loving things. So there are still things we cannot put. Yeah.
So the stakes for the dark forces, the stakes are very high. They're literally feeding off the life force and the blood of our children. So we need to be, they will take down anyone that is looking to bring this to the light. So it needs to come to the light. We have to, just as we were talking about Medusa or cutting off the head of the Hydra, it's like, what did they do? They used the shield. They looked in the shield and got the reflection. They didn't look straight in at her.
Yeah.
This is how we need to proceed at this moment in time.
Yeah, and you have to be a hero. Don't go on this war path unless you are a light worker or a hero, or you have reclaimed your alignment and you are aligned with the law of the universe. Then I will say you can start, because you will know, like John, yes, have you heard what's going on to be like for people? Those are distractions. Those are distractions to wake up the people. The people need to wake up in Germany. The people need to wake up in Austria, and the people in Europe. Yes. But the beautiful thing is, today I went to collect a Wi-Fi system. I've had 2 so far. The law of the universe is very abundant with me. I only need 1, but it was given 2. So that's the mess. That's the chaos out there. And so I went to collect it and walked in without a mask. And she said, "Where is your mask? Can you please put your mask?" And I looked at her and said, "I don't wear masks, and don't wear it for me." So, Avril, you mentioned that too. So, and I said, "And by the way, if you've had the jab, I can give you the details of somebody who will remove that from your system, because it's a poison." And after 10 minutes, she said, "Oh, she knows that. She was really, really ill after taking it, and so were her 2 daughters. So they went, and she has healing capacities." And we ended up talking for half an hour. So we get guided and we can start picking up people in that web, the collective web, the inverted matrix, who are feeling and starting to weave with people who have not been, even if they've had the vax, they are still their own sovereign selves. So isn't that beautiful? Let us hope so. Yes, John, it depends on us. So if we go with a story, we're going to stay in that story because we're going to feed it. It's like Juliet was saying, we're going to feed the Hydra. We're going to feed Medusa. Okay. The difference with Medusa was this beautiful maiden serving as a vestal. Okay. And she was abused. Okay. She was there in the sacred temple reading, she was one of those beautiful vestals. Yeah. An oracle woman. Yeah. And she got abused. And then what happened? She had the snakes, and the snakes are just expressing that never again could anyone look at her because she would turn them to stone. It's interesting, turning people to stone. It's freezing. You're freezing the energy. But in fact, all she longs for is to be loved. But that's the divine feminine within us. That's reclaiming the humanity of the feminine. But we're not talking about Medusa now, that gets beheaded by beautiful Jason when he puts his shield and then he beheads her. And then with her head, he redeems the land. We're talking about something much darker. So, beautiful Julie, recently I had a conversation over the back fence to a neighbor that has very different views than I do. I was grateful to have the compassion and capacity to bring to that conversation whatever darkness was there seemed to dissipate with love and understanding. I think there is always a gentle way to oppose the dark forces. Yes, those dark forces who still have some incarnation, Julie, I agree. But some are not incarnate and will never incarnate. That's different.
Yes.
Heidi, hello, beautiful one. So
We
you
are
are here. We're like life rafts of light, raising our vibration. We can pull others up to the light with us through love.
That's beautiful.
Our vibrations, beautiful. It's possible to remove the Hydra, asks April, where we have to remove the Puff the Magic Dragon, Puff the Magic, well, she's not magic, Puff the Hydra, when we reclaim our sovereignty. That's the work we are doing right now. That is the work I'm encouraging each one of you to do. And in order to do that, you have to stop. You have to take responsibility for your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and for some of your lineage, things that were never in the past. You have to repair. And then you have to make sure whenever you hand over your power, oh dear, I've done it again. That's the pattern. And you take it back and you say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. No, I'm not saying yes to that. Yeah. Does that make sense? And then little by little, step by step, you will climb that mountain. And from the top of that mountain, you will see a beautiful land with a new earth. And that Hydra will no longer be there. But it depends on each one of us. So are we able to respond and say, yes, I am prepared to enter that process, the journey to compassion, humanity, kindness. What are my values? And how much of my power have I given to watching TV every day? How much time do I give to watching TV?
Or Netflix.
Or Netflix, without being aware that behind those programs, you have programs.
Programs to program you.
You are being programmed without you being aware of it. And that's huge. Interrupt the patterns with present moment awareness. Yes, Sas, definitely. Moment by moment. You can only be in this moment. That's the only one that is yours. With a breath. Hello, beautiful Debbie. Good afternoon, lovely ones. 5 p.m. is always a nap time after being up since 5. We usually manage to keep awake to see you, but not today, so we have just joined towards the end. We will listen back as we usually do. Oh, well, you haven't missed us, Debbie. We're still here. We've got another 5 minutes, darling. Bless you, darling. Bless you.
Oh, that's an early rising up at 5 a.m.
Yeah. So, yes, as Juliet was asking that question, can each one of you ponder? How can you see that hydra? It's there, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. But what I'm noticing as I'm walking the shop, and she said, no, you can't come in. I said, that's fine. That's fine. But you have to be very vibrant. That's totally fine with me. I'll wait outside on the pavement. I've just come to get a parcel. I give you my name. And she said, no, you can come in. You can come in. It was lovely because it's just you're shifting from the inverted matrix. You're just bringing it back to sanity. And I said to her, it's lovely. How does it feel seeing my face? And she said, it's lovely. I said, well, may I give you an insight? Wear a natural mask if you're going to wear your mask because you're obliged to. And I'm starting to make masks for people now. I don't have TV. I'm so glad you don't have one. And Vibra, so much love. Yes, thank you, darling. Yes, I had the man who came the other day for the neighbor, and he thought it was my house. He was going to connect internet. And he said, oh, I've come to connect your internet and your television. I said, you've got the wrong house. I don't want television. You can take that away. It's totally evil. It's a carrier. It's worse than cancer because cancer can be cured with quantum healing. I said, you've got the wrong house. And in fact, it was my neighbors and they watch a huge amount of TV. I know, John, a lot of people haven't noticed the hydra, but you have. And because you have, you are carrying that vision and you are sending that message in the collective field. We see you. We are not buying what you're selling us. I see them. I'm not buying. And I've got enough courage to say, I see you. But I stand true. Don't cut off its heads. Give it more love. No, you don't give it love. It doesn't require love, that one. No, not that one, Jack. No, not that one. You don't give love to someone who's just taken a child apart. You don't. It was Carl Gustav Jung. I remember when I studied a long time ago. He was saying when you are faced with a client and there is a starved energy or a very destructive energy, what he used to say to that part was, what ails thee? What is hurting you? And he would start connecting with that part within that being. But this is different what we're talking about. We're talking about beings, I will use the word beings, although they are not in incarnation, who want to hijack our planet Earth through humanity enslavement, because they don't have bodies. So this is a darker plan. And those, I don't quite know yet. And for what information that I'm given, it's beautiful, Thomas Hugh, I am grateful. of what information that remains hidden and not revealed to my soul, to my being, then I am grateful too, because that is thy will, the source and the divine will. Thank you, Thomas Hugo. Collective trauma. Yes, so the power of the mind is a powerful thing. Our thoughts. Yes, we create with our mind. I love all the things you're saying, Brigitte, about mass television and other things. We don't watch television either. It's wonderful. I was thinking mainly of the legislation. What I mean is that a lot of people apparently think it is okay and are prepared to go along with it. Yes, they are going to go along with it.
That's what we're saying, is like you get hooked into that and it's a distraction for the other thing that's come into the surface, the darkness that's revealing itself, that is very evil, and the children need to be protected. Urgently need our protection.
So John, may I invite you to check in what way within yourself? I hear that from a masculine point of view, you need to know what is going on in the collective field. I know other men who spend a lot of time researching and checking what's happening, as they are warriors too, and they need to be on the battlefield, and that's their way to be on the battlefield. But check it, because it can be a hook for you to be taken away from staying with that masculine, okay, and sharing within the collective field that absolutely aligned masculine energy that says, I will not waver, I will stay in the eye of the storm, because my masculine energy is needed for this next stage. But if you get distracted with, yes, the immigrants drowning in the channel, which my son got distracted with, or what is being rolling out for Austria or Germany or Europe, then what is happening? You're moving out of your center, and that's what they want. But if we stay aligned with our center, we are staying in peace. We're staying absolutely in the eye. You know, it is just like that sword of truth. And there is nothing they can do with that, because they can't get you when you are there. And it's a sword of light. My God, it's powerful. And I speak from my truth right now. I hope you can hear it, John. Oh, I know. Yes, you're not worried. I know. But I'm picking up that you're still pulled into that, John. You're still being pulled into that. So what I'd love to hear from you is what you shared in that feed with Jenny. The parallels you were bringing. I love those parallels you're bringing out, because what you're bringing is the two sides, the fake matrix and the true matrix, and you're standing in the middle, and that's your key codes. And how can you keep sharing those two sides? I love that, because that's your truth. Yeah. So
So we are coming to the end. So what I would ask is, if you've got
I'm so hot.
Me too. It's like the heat, the amount of heat is incredible.
Well, we're transmitting from another level. I just wanted to say, when we come as elders, we are transmitting not just from us as elders, but we're transmitting from other dimensions.
Yeah.
Okay, so just wanted to share that.
Before we come to the end.
So spear of destiny, I don't know if it is the spear of destiny or the spear of presence, justice, truth, relating, and maybe the spear of divine beings that we are. Yeah.
So if you've grown up in a family where there's been abuse and nobody's speaking of the abuse and nobody wants to stand up because you'll be called insane or you feel fearful, this is what's happening on the planet. There's the most incredible abuse and terrible things happening to children on this planet, and it's coming to the light, and we can all help to lift this into the public eye, lift into people's awareness by sharing the information. What's happening, not getting distracted with the thing that they want us to be distracted by, but to actually lift up and bring to awareness what's happening to the children, because those children have had horrific things done to them, and it's still happening, and they need our help.
Yes, that is beautiful. I'm sorry, I was reading, Sas, you are authentic, beautiful beings of light. I feel very aligned with your philosophy. Thank you for your beautiful sharing. Well, it's a way of life. It's so much more than a philosophy, I would say. It's a way of life, Sas, and it's a very challenging way of living day by day. Oh, and I hear you, John. You're a beautiful being. You're so powerful, the two men here in this group. And I'm inviting you to really stand in your truth, in your power, because what you're holding is unique. Here there is Juliet and I, we're just two beings, but there are millions of us out there. You know, there are millions of us, and it's just so profound, you know. And yes, it is sad as well. So we're not here to entertain and be mindful. What was been rolling out for hundreds of years, is to keep humanity entertained and asleep. This is not where we are at. We're not here as elders to entertain you. Today we both had a hell of a day, Juliet and I, didn't we?
Absolutely.
Very challenging. Because what happens is, with the customs forms I had to deal with, it took me 2 hours, because between yesterday and today, it's changed already. The format on internet has changed. Why? Because the Alliance is starting to realign everything. So by checking this, I'm getting the information that we are moving in the right direction, and that the Hydra is being taken down in every different field. So it's up to us to keep that going. But they will give us another dose, because there are not enough of us awake. So Heidi, we cannot deny the truth at this time. Thank you for raising the awareness. Yes, thank you, Heidi. And I know, I feel you. We feel you. Yeah. And I'm sorry we can't have an open field.
We have to come to an end. I'm off to Glastonbury Town Hall tonight, because a very important issue is being raised, and we need as many people there as possible. So
and I have to leave. I have another Zoom meeting. I love you and bless you until next Wednesday. Remember, the Hydra only has the power that we give it. Love you, Juliet.
Love you too. Lots of love to everyone here. Bye, everyone.